Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You're at the spot, the place, the location where the conversations are pointed, guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Today, Brains, we're going to talk to Colleen O'Neill Mulvihill. This woman is my shero because she is a retired firefighter. I don't know how she deals with the blaze, but not only is that, she's blazing the trail in the way of travel. She's a travel coach, also a health and wellness enthusiast, and she has a little bit of a challenge with an autoimmune disease. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Colleen? You look great.
Thank you. I'm doing great today. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Tell my brains a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Well, you did a great description of me leading into this. So I'm what you call a health and wellness self-prescribed junkie, I would imagine. Um, and that's because, as you mentioned in the beginning, my first career was being a female firefighter, and that's kind of what planted the seed to know I had to be strong and healthy to be able to have a career that lasted more than just a couple years. And that's what planted the seed. So that's where I'm here.
Well, you're doing the most, okay? Because number one, I just think about fire. I went to Universal Studios and I went
Mhm.
to the backdraft. Baby, I couldn't believe how fast and furious and angry and relentless fire can be. So
Yeah.
I thank you. And being a woman in that space, carrying that 50 pound of gear in addition to your body weight, you're just an amazing person. You really are an
Well,
amazing person.
thank you. I did grow up in a family of firefighters. My dad was a firefighter. My uncles were firefighters. So I learned from a very early age all about the career. I pretty much grew up thinking that was my only option in life. So I did struggle a little bit being a female because, let's admit, my body's not built like the boys' bodies were. So I had to do some things differently, but I was blessed enough to make it through a 30-year career.
Wow, 30 years. And that's one thing that children really love. They love firefighter.
They do.
And girls like the calendars. But there's a lot of camaraderie that goes on there like no other. You really depend on one another. I think it's a closer knit than being in the military because
Yeah, it,
you're not gonna leave your brother or your sister behind. Were there
right.
other women uh, that you engaged with and worked with that were firefighters as well during your career?
So I started in 1993, and at that point, there were less than 3% in my department that were females. And as the years progressed, towards the end of my career, we got closer to 10%, but still 10% out of 100, that makes it so that I don't get the opportunity to work with women quite as often as I do the men. So in my career, there was really truly only one stretch of time where I was stationed on a shift with another female out of 30 years.
Wow. Being a woman, a female in that space, now it's a revolution again. The woman is back in charge, honey. We haven't had this much momentum since we burned our bras.
Yeah.
But what would you say to a young woman that would aspire to be a firefighter right now?
Well, the opportunities to be a firefighter now are are greater than they ever have been. A lot of fire departments around the nation, including the one that I retired from, they do a girls' fire camp over the summer where you can go and learn how to be a firefighter from the earliest age of, I believe it's like 7. So from maybe 7 to 15 or 16, you can go try on gear, practice pulling hoses, practice squirting water, learn CPR, important things like that. And that way they kind of get an opportunity to maybe dip their toes into it and see if it might be something that they would like to pursue as a career.
And good. And having you come in and do a talk, that would be wonderful too. So I know they look forward to that. So I
Yeah,
want to progress now. You said that you have a challenge and you're living with an autoimmune disease. Is it okay to talk about that?
sure, absolutely.
Did you experience that or be diagnosed while you were also a firefighter?
I did, yeah. Actually, it was a strange story. I basically woke up one morning and I had such severe pain in my hands and wrists that it literally brought tears to my eyes to brush my teeth. And over the course of the day, I had trouble opening a water bottle or squeezing a shampoo bottle, just anything to do with dexterity with my hands or my fingers without severe pain. And I thought, my goodness, I must have worked out way too hard in the gym, right? That was the first thing I thought of. And so I figured I'd just rest for a couple of days. Long story short, it didn't help. I did what most people do when they're faced with some sort of new challenge. They go to Dr. Google and try to figure out what's going on. So I Googled my symptoms and put them in the symptom checker and all those good things. And what kept coming up was rheumatoid arthritis. And it was the first time that I really realized that that is a different kind of arthritis than what, the typical, grandparent you would see that has arthritis in their hands or in their feet or in their knees, that sort of thing. And it stunned me because no one in my family that I knew of had an autoimmune disease. So I did a lot of research. I went to a rheumatologist and he confirmed the diagnosis as rheumatoid arthritis.
So explain to us, what is rheumatoid arthritis?
So whenever you have an autoimmune disease, it's a result of your immune system attacking healthy tissue. What happens is your immune system gets confused and there's something in your system that is telling it that it is not safe, like it's a pathogen or it's an invader that it needs to attack. So it kind of gets confused. And the reason that happens is kind of threefold. It starts with some sort of genetic component, whether you know it's there or not. The second piece of it is your environment, the kind of environment you live and work in. And the third piece is some sort of trigger that starts the whole disease process from starting. So in my case with rheumatoid arthritis, my immune system decided that it was going to attack my joints.
Wow. And I guess you being in the environment of always in a hazardous condition, inhaling fumes or different kind of chemicals or, you know, and even the exhaustion on your body,
Correct. Yeah.
all of
It could
that.
be all of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Bless your heart. So then you jumped into nutrition and health and wellness. Did you really find that that made a huge difference and was an impact on you being able to live with rheumatoid arthritis?
It absolutely did. And what precipitated me to do that was my rheumatologist put me on a heavy duty immunosuppressant called methotrexate. And that is something that's typically given to chemotherapy patients so that their body doesn't reject the chemotherapy while they're going through cancer treatment. And I was on that drug for exactly 3 days before it started making me really sick. And I thought to myself, how am I going to be on this medication and still do my job, which requires being exposed to toxins, pathogens, Lord knows what, and still remain healthy? So I knew there had to be a different way, a better way. So I remembered when I was in college, one of my favorite classes was an elective class, and it was simply Health and Wellness 101. And that was where I learned about food as medicine, and I learned about the mind, body, soul connection, all of that stuff. So I kind of had a light bulb moment. Like, what would happen if I found a way to allow my body to heal naturally, to give my immune system back the natural healing ability that it has? What would that look like? So that kind of set this whole thing in motion.
Wow. And then what did you do? First thing you did was clean out the refrigerator and the
Well,
cat.
I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So the first thing I did was sign up for nutrition school.
I have been really thinking about that lately, that I really want to get into nutrition. And so what I'm going to start doing is start with some online, not online, Audible books. Just kind of get
Yeah.
my feet wet, see if I'm
Hmm.
going to enjoy it long term, because
Yeah,
nutrition is different than being a dietitian.
it is.
And so
It
you want
is.
to know how food works in conjunction with the body, but you also need to know what's good for you, what's not good for you. One of the things that I absolutely love, that I love from my mother, is tomatoes. Tomatoes are, high acidity. Sometimes it's not good for my stomach. So there's different things that you need to do. Your blood work, um, it's a lot. So it's not just you can go in there willy nilly, but also supplements that you can take. Some people agree, some people don't. Um, there's a lot. And also a good Chinese herbalist and a Chinese medicine doctor. I promise by them, okay? They are really great. So
Yeah.
you looked at your situation, you looked at your environment, you looked at what you were intaking in your body. You decided to make a change in all of that, but also you made a change in careers. You left the fire, and now you are a travel coach. What does a
I am.
travel coach do, Colleen?
I'm glad you asked. So I now have a business called Holistic Health Traveler. And what we do is help women curate life-changing wellness travel experiences. And what that includes is pre-trip coaching to understand what their um, goals are, what their current challenges are, what they would like to change in their life as far as lifestyle and habits and those sorts of things. And then we align that vision and mission with a travel destination, a wellness travel destination, preferably, that fits the bill for them.
Mm,
Because in my coaching practice, what I have discovered is that the number one thing that is the hardest for anyone to do is to create new habits at home by themselves when they're not supported by friends and family. And in some cases, when you want to make big lifestyle changes like giving up, pizza every Friday night, or choosing plant-based meals, or going for a walk every day, that doesn't necessarily land well with your spouse or your kids, or fits into your current lifestyle. So that's why we do the coaching up front, we do the wellness travel in the middle, and then we do post-trip coaching so that we're sure that what we learn while we're away can be implemented into our day-to-day life moving forward, so that it's a life-changing experience and not just an experience that was fun while it lasted.
well, that's a beautiful niche, because I've heard, travel. I would think that it was just, oh, okay, single, free to mingle. Let's get a girls group and let's go and do this. But it is a whole process. It's a whole thought process, a whole mindset shift that you put into that. So thank you so much for dedicating your life to do that, because there's a lot of people, men and women, that are in flux right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, the world is a different place. Everybody's on edge.
Mhm.
And we're
Yeah.
not talking the podcast brains, but people are uptight and they don't know how to relax. They
Okay.
don't know how to appreciate one another. They don't know how to respect themselves. They're looking for outside influences. So when you work with them to select a destination, you're saying, hey, this fits the bill. This is what you like. These are the kind of people that you like. This is the food that you like. This is a place that you might, be a water enthusiast, that want to do a water retreat. Because there's so many retreats. If you Google them, I didn't realize how many there was. There's a gazillion. It used to be just maybe a women's retreat. We'd go and have some yoga or some meditation. Now there is a retreat for everything.
Right, right. That's why guidance is so important, because most of the women that come to me have health challenges already, similar to me with autoimmune disease, or, maybe they're struggling with type 2 diabetes, or they're struggling with persistent weight gain, or the issues that come with menopause.
Do
And
you also deal with people that have substance abuse issues, maybe eating disorders, alcohol, or drug?
I don't personally, I haven't yet anyway. Typically my clients are, women age 40 and above who just are exhausted and depleted and overstressed, and they have little health issues creeping up, and they kind of want to get ahead of it in a way that allows them to have a sustainable lifestyle change. And that's who I typically work with.
Now, is this a group setting? So are you taking like three or four, or is this one on one?
No, I always do one-on-one, and here's why.
Wow.
Because everybody's health challenges are personal, and they're different, and their goals are different. So to me, it's really important to have the personal one-on-one connection with my clients so that they know that they can reach out to me whenever if they have a question, or if they have something else in their life that crops up. It truly is um, a relationship as much as it is a coach and client relationship.
Okay, so let me just kind of color in the white space here. So I contact you, we go through the initial intake, we have a consultation. You suggest and make recommendations. I tell you yes or no. April, you're going to scuba dive. No, Colleen, I'm not. Those type of things. And then you maybe say, okay, well, I think that you'd be great to go to Bali, you know, and you set up the retreat and what I'm going to do there, or do you accompany me there? I don't. What's the second phase?
Okay, so the first phase is just a slight bit deeper than what you described, in the sense that we talk a lot about what, not only what your likes and dislikes are. So like if somebody says, I don't want to do anything involving water, especially scuba diving, that's not something that we even, suggest. So we get to know the person and their desires, but what's important to me is to understand where you want to be as far as your health goes. And that way I can align a venue or a destination that can support you in learning those tools while you're there. So I will suggest the venue. I will suggest, all of the activities that you can do while you're there. And through the whole process, you have the ability to say yes or no. We keep tweaking until we find something that sounds like it's going to be a great fit. And then my clients, they schedule their own travel themselves. So I'm not a travel agent in the sense that I don't book the travel for them. I just help them to create the curated wellness travel experience that they need to get them to that next step. Then I also help them, with make sure that they have their packing list squared away and their documentations if they're going overseas, or, all of the details that they need so that they can pretty much have a seamless trip. They can step right into it. And then when they come home, that's when, we talk about all the things that they learned, the best things that happened to them while they're there. And you'd be amazed at how many women say to me, that is the first time that I can remember fully relaxing in decades. So we talk about how best to take what they learned while they were there and now incorporate it in their day-to-day life so that they can still experience that level of relaxation. So we talk about how to tweak their home environment. We talk about the things that they can do if they get stressed at work. So it's a multi-phased approach to wellness that also includes the environment that allows them to kind of get from where they are now to where they want to be, um, completely isolated from family or distractions or work emergencies or all that stuff that especially we women tend to let ourselves get into, especially we're always like go 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 go, and sure I can do one more thing, sure throw one more thing on my plate, and
Right.
that won't happen when you're away at a wellness destination.
Well, Brains, I'm glad she explained that to us because she's no travel agent.
Right.
So don't get that confused. And it
Right.
is a process. There's a lot of tools that you will be able to add to your arsenal.
Yeah.
Um, you will be able to put out a lot of fires, no pun intended.
I love the pun.
Really, because now you'll be able to go back, revisit, but also have a template and
Right.
have a goal.
Yeah.
And when you get stuck, you'll have something to revert back to. You'll have a coach to support you that knows who you are, what your initial desire was from the get go, and to help you progress in that. So this is a really neat niche. How did you find it?
Well, I actually will give a plug to my certification program. So there is a program out there through the Travel Coach Network that will certify people to become professional travel coaches. And this is a niche within the travel coach industry. So there are some travel coaches out there that help people do solo travel or couples travel or multi-generational travel. There's lots of different ways this can be designed. But if you're looking to become certified as a travel coach, if that's something that interests your listeners, absolutely, tell them Colleen sent you, and you can either reach me at holistichealthtraveler@gmail.com, and I will give you an affiliate link, so that I can get a little, kickback from that, or you can do it on your own, and find the Travel Coach Network. And Sahara Rose DeVore is a wonderful entrepreneur who's created this wonderful community of travel coaches. We all kind of work together and discuss industry trends and things like that. So it's a beautiful new, I'd say a new like branch on the coaching tree.
It is. It's very different. It's very unique. And Brains, I suggest that you give her a call and go through Colleen because she knows the right questions to ask. Maybe you can tap into her brain a little bit to see if this is a good fit for you. A lot of people are looking for a side hustle.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah,
looking for a transitional, a place to pivot from corporate America or whatever job that they're doing. They're
yeah.
stay-at-home moms that wonder what I can do, and I'm exhausted. So this is really a benefit
It
on
is. It's a perfect fit for any of those that you just described. And the course is self-paced. So, if it's a busy stay-at-home mom and you have a couple hours in the evening after you put your kids to bed, you can do your coursework then. There's no requirement to get it done in a certain amount of time. There's support. So it's all a very well laid out and well designed program. And it is certified through ICF. So, you're not just getting a handmade certificate to hang on your wall. You truly are a certified travel coach.
Okay. All right. Well, in conclusion, I want to ask you a couple fun questions because I like to do that. If you were not a firefighter in your past life, what career would you have chosen? What would you like to do?
Um, I think I probably would have tried to become a veterinarian. I loved animals growing up. I had horses and maybe an equine veterinarian if I had it to do all over again.
If you were a car, what kind of car would you be?
Ooh, that is a good question. Let's see. I'd say I would be a fancy BMW.
Oh, The little one with the convertible top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I can see you zipping through town. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
If I was an appliance in the kitchen, I think I would be the blender because I like to blend so many things in my life to create the me. So that sounds like the perfect appliance.
I can't tell you how many people want to be the blender.
Really?
Yeah, no, I want to be the teapot. Hot and
Oh,
steamy and spouting off.
oh, girl. I love it.
That would be fun. And can you leave an inspiring, encouraging message for a woman that's struggling right now that just really feels that she's at her wits' end, that she just can't tell her head from her tail?
Absolutely. The one thing I know to be true from the core of my being is that we hold the power inside of us to heal whatever it is that's going on, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, whatever we're struggling with. The key is to find support because you can't do it on your own. You're not supposed to do it on your own. Find support, have somebody in your corner, do the work, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. I can promise you that.
And let's just hope it's not a train. Thank you so much, Colleen, for being here with us and sharing your wisdom and your strength and your tenacity. You are definitely my Shiro. I'm telling you, you are
Oh,
firefighter extraordinaire. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you one more time to work with you, to consult with you, and possibly be one of your clients.
absolutely. So the easiest way would be to go to my website, which is holistichealthtraveler.com. And on the landing page, there's a button there where you can book a free 30-minute consult with me if you are curious about whether or not curated wellness travel and travel coaching is something for you. There's no obligation, it's completely free. So that's probably the best place to start. If you have questions, you can email me at holistichealthtraveler@gmail.com. Or you can always follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Holistic Health Traveler.
Well, Brains, we are going to put all of her information at the back part of the interview. We're going to run this over and over again, shared with a friend. You know what? Even gifted to someone. Could you imagine what a special, unique, customized gift this would be for your wife or grandmother or your mother in law? Want to get her mind right. This would be a great gift. So there's a lot of opportunities there. And I really have a lot of faith in Colleen. Again, because she was a firefighter, she sacrificed her life to save ours. Go in, love, like, share, and subscribe. Love, like, share, and subscribe. Right here on the edge. Don't be shy and tell a friend, okay? Thank you so much again, Colleen. Take care of yourself, and we appreciate you and value you.
Thank you, Miss April. It was a joy to be here with you today. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Bye, Brains.